Guys, good evening. It's a very cool summer evening here in London, and you're welcome to Buries TV. It's your girl British Tech Pro. If it's your first time, thank you for stopping by, and please do consider subscribing. It's the red button down here, and if you hit on the bell sign, it tells you whenever I upload my videos. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for watching. One of my Ghanaian colleagues at work sent me this article, and the article is on the Daily Mail. Anybody can check it out. I'm going to put the link in the description. It's the Daily Mail of June 11th, and the title is Highway to Heaven. Son buries his father in a 66,000 BMW in Nigeria because he had always promised he would buy him a flash car. So you can see the picture. I'm just going to paraphrase because it's quite a long article, and the short story about this article is that this man who is called Azubike promised his father he will buy him a car. Since his father died before he got the chance, he decided to bury him in a BMW car. So the brand new BMW cost Azubike a whooping £66,000 from a local showroom. So then he goes on to explain how this man, who I don't know because it's costed in pounds, so I will assume that the person probably lives here in the UK. So the story is that he worked himself up, from humble beginnings, and promised his dad that he was going to buy him a car. But unfortunately, the father died before he could arrive, before he could make it. So he decided that, okay, what can he do now that his dad is dead and is not alive to enjoy the fruit of his success? So he decided to bury him in a brand new BMW instead of a coffin, in order to see him off in style in his local village graveyard. I don't know how true this story is. I was arguing it to this Ghanaian man, and he kept saying, oh, it's true. This is not the first time it's happening in Nigeria. Somebody in Nigeria has buried in a Hummer car before, so it's true. And actually, from the picture, you can see from the picture that, the ground is actually dug. It looks like very fresh soil, and you can see the car being lowered. So, and because it's on although the Mail, Daily Mail is like a tabloid, it's the tabloid kind of newspaper. So I don't know. I take their news with a pinch of salt, because it's not like the Times or one of those newspaper that you can really say that, okay, whatever they are reporting is 100% correct. It's like a tabloid kind of newspaper. So I don't know. Sometimes they report gossip, which is what this story is really. So the story is that the dad passed away in Nigeria, in a remote village of Ihiala, which is in eastern Nigeria. All my eastern subscribers, I don't know what state that is, if it's Imo or Anambra, or there are several states in the eastern part of Nigeria, I don't know. But it says it's from Ihiala, Nigeria, and Azubike, splashed out on this car to bury his father. So the picture was taken when the car was lowered to the ground. It doesn't say anything much about who this person is. It doesn't identify their surname. It just simply calls this man. It simply calls him Azubike, who is from Ihiala in Nigeria. And the picture has gone viral on social media, and so the story is that he even put a sat nav, that there's a sat nav in the car. He's equipped with a sat nav to help him find his way to the pearly gate. But of course, with stories like this, you have a lot of backlash, and there's a lot of people criticizing him, saying that why should he do this? It's a waste. If he was alive, it would have been good to spend the money on him, but now that he's dead, it's a waste of money. You should have buried him in a coffin, and this is just foolish and showing off. And then somebody else said this is the sort of thing that keeps us poor as black people. And then another person said, this is insanity and selfishness, regardless of what the facts are. This is your cash. In 2015, a similar burial made headlines after an Enugu billionaire buried his mother in a brand new Hummer. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. I didn't even know that they referred to it in the article. So in 2015, there was somebody in Enugu apparently who allegedly, I don't know, I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I mean, most Nigerians would have heard about it. That was the time that Hummer used to be like the rental car, you know, these really big Hummer jeeps that used to be the thing then in Nigeria in those days. Anyway, so the point of all these stories is, you know, what this man was saying, this my Ghanaian colleague was trying to say that, you know, this is a waste of resources, and that, you know, I should talk about it in my blog. I call myself a blogger, so why can't I blog about this? Hey, the responsibility of this blogger is too much. Anything now, people will say you are the blogger, come and talk about it. Anything is me. It's like I'm the defender of everything African or everything Nigeria. This responsibility is too much. Anyway, the point he's trying to make, which I see, is that it's quite valid. Like I said, I don't know how authentic this story is. This is what I'm just reading from the Daily Mail. It's all over the internet. But if this is true, then I don't know why would somebody do something like that. Because, I mean, if you are dead, you are dead. Whether you bury somebody in a coffin or like Muslims that don't even use coffin, they just use cloth to wrap the person. I mean, I think I actually like the Muslim burial. I actually, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather was a Muslim. And when he was buried, I was there when they buried him. They bury their dead very quickly. Once you die, next day, you are buried. Or same day, even in some cases, they'll bury you. I think that's one of the things I really like about, you know, Islam. They bury very quickly. There's no much fuss. There's no much ceremony. It's, you know, you are gone. It's very simple. If this story is actually true, that this man splashed out 66,000 pounds on a car to bury his father and put a sat nav, I mean, I don't know if most cars these days come with inbuilt sat nav. I don't know. Maybe he bought additional sat nav to add to it so that the man can see road to heaven or wherever he's going to. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So what this guy was actually saying, my colleague was actually, the point he's making is that we as Africans need to, you know, sometimes we do very foolish things, especially when people have money. They just, you know, they don't think properly. You just do things that seem very foolish. For instance, why are you burying a car? How is a car going to drive somebody who is dead to anywhere? It's obvious that people are probably going to go over there and dig up the car and remove the man's body and steal it. I mean, the people will do it no matter how you guide it. Even if they don't steal it, the car is just going to rot away. It's a waste. Why don't you put that money in a trust fund, for instance, in the name of your dad? Set up a trust fund, put your father's name, you know, to do some good in your community. I mean, look at the interest. People in this part of the world, what they normally do is that when their parents die, if they want to do anything for charity, they will look at all the charities that their parents supported or the causes that they championed when they were alive. For instance, if you were somebody that was passionate about elderly people, for instance, so you can do something for the elderly people. If there are elderly people in your community and that need some, you know, some things that they don't have, like wheelchair, you can set up a trust fund or a foundation in your father's name. That will live longer than a car. A car being buried is just going to make sound. It will even attract negative attention, because people will be abusing you. Some people will say you are showing off. I mean, it's a kind of show off. Let's be realistic. How do you dig a floor? How do you dig a ground and then you put a car that is worth 66,000 pounds and use sand to cover it? It's just going to rot. So that's just waste. It doesn't make sense. But if you have like a foundation like that, I mean, maybe send some children to school, you know, empower some local women or local people who don't have the resources to start like a small scale business or whatever. There's a lot that you can invest in your community in the name of your dad, that the legacy will live on, or in the name of your dead parents. All these people that are burying people in cars, I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. Wasting of resources like that, even though it's your money. People can say, well, it's his money, he can spend it whatever he like, whichever way he like. But it seems foolish. It seems really, really foolish. If I can be honest, that you can throw that kind of money away just because you want to tell people that, okay, you bury. You see, I have a problem with African burials. I need to actually sit down and do a blog about African burials, because I feel like we don't give priority to what is important. When somebody is alive, this is what I believe in. If your parents are alive, you want to look after them. Don't wait till you are rich or before you that you are a millionaire before you look after them. Start looking after them now with the little that you have. Be sending them money. When my mom was alive, my dad died when the year I got into uni, so I didn't have opportunity to look after my dad. But my mom, who died 10 years ago, as at that time, even in Nigeria, what we did was that we put her on a salary. Every month, we're paying her a salary. She was never ever short of money, and I'm so glad I did it, because if I was waiting till I arrived before I look after her, look, she died 10 years ago now, when I was in a better position and in a better place to look after her. She had gone. If I was waiting, you know, to arrive before I look after her, then I would not have done anything. I would not have been able to help her, or I would not have been able to look after her. So don't wait till your parents would. And a lot of Easterners in the East, everywhere in Nigeria, they do large burials. In Africa, they do large burials. But it's more so in the south of Nigeria and in the East. You see people splashing out millions of pounds, millions of dollars on burials. Maybe their parents even died wretched. They didn't have any money to even eat. The things were difficult for them. You see some people, their parents will die. When they were alive, they were not looking after their parents. So they didn't give them money. They didn't look after. They didn't build house for them. Once they die, because their friends are going to follow them to the village and they are ashamed, they don't want them to come and see the mud house that their parents lived in until they died. They will quickly break that house down, build it. Under 1-2 weeks, they finish building a house. And then they will come and start splashing. When I say splashing, they will splash so much money, having big parties. They will call the biggest musician. They will keep 10 cows. They will close down a brewery and buy all the drinks in this world and cook for 10 days, because they are burying people. They are burying their relatives. So they will say, I'm giving him a befitting burial. I'm giving him what is a befitting burial? What does that even mean? Look, let me tell you something. Who die, don't die finish. The person is not even aware of all this nonsense that you people are doing. The person is not aware. It is those people that you gather together, your friends that you are doing party, that are enjoying themselves, or the villagers that will come and eat and go. The person that is dead is dead. You're not doing it for anybody. There's nothing like befitting burial. I'm not saying that you shouldn't bury your parents decently, but do something just minimal. Don't be extravagant and be wasting money and, you know, closing down the whole village for one week because you are doing burial. So I don't believe in that. I definitely don't believe in, you know, spending millions of pounds or spending millions of dollars on burial. That is not. I know obviously people believe what they believe. Some people believe that until they splash out and waste millions on burial, they've not done it. They will go and carry the most expensive musician in Nigeria and pay him millions. Then they will have a party and then they will be spraying money. You see people spray money. Have you seen that spray money? In Nigeria now they have a machine they used to spray. Oh, it's like a pump machine like this. They will hold it like this and be Aye! It's show off. That is our problem. We show off too much, so that people can say, you did well, you tried, they'll be celebrating you. Nonsense. I beg. Me, I don't believe in it. I don't know. You people can come here and you know, say whatever you like. I don't care. You guys know I always like to say what is on my mind. This is the way I feel about all this ostentatious burial and, you know, useless waste. If you have money and you feel like your parents suffered for you, you couldn't look after them when they were alive, go and set up a foundation. Use the money to do good. Go and build a school or whatever. You know, in your community, go there. If they have no road, go and tie their road in your father's name. Put one big signboard. That's what we did in my village. When my mom died, after we did the burial, we went and dug borehole. I'm not bragging, but this is what happened. You can ask anybody from my village, they will tell you. Because my community does not have water. So my siblings, we put hands together and we dug borehole in the name of my mom. So now, that community, they have water because of the borehole. That is what you do when your parent died. You want to do something in remembrance. So we dug borehole, you know, and the thing is lined up like this. You see, people can come and fetch water any time of the day. It's free. It's for the whole village to use. This is how you remember your parents. It's not by burying a car on the ground and then they will come and be clapping for you. It's foolishness. That's the way I see it. Anyway, I'm just going to leave this right here. It's getting a bit cooler now. I just wanted to talk about this before my Ghanaian colleague will say, Bridget, I told you to talk about this. You say you are blogging. You didn't talk about it. Well, I've talked about it too. So thanks guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, the red button down there. Leave me a comment down below in the comment section. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye.